How will members of Congress respond now that special counsel Robert Mueller has tossed the ball back in their court? And was this Mueller's last word on the Russia investigation, or will he be subpoenaed to testify before Congress? We have Congresswoman Madeleine Dean of Pennsylvania. She's a member of the House Judiciary Committee, joining us now from Philadelphia. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you, Brianna.
What was your reaction when you heard Robert Mueller speak, and what was the thing that stood out to you the most?
I was pleased that he spoke, and what stood out to me was that he chose to speak. We know the behavior of Robert Mueller. He's been very careful to do his duty and to not speak beyond the report. I believe that if he did not see an Attorney General Barr and all of the people around this president, including this president, covering up what actually happened and lying about the contents of that report, he would have gone quietly into his private life. But that he chose to speak, to me, speaks volumes. I'll play on that word. Speaks to the 2 volumes that he prepared with 19 other dedicated public servants that revealed important findings that the president is lying about, that Giuliani's lying about, that Attorney Barr is mischaracterized and lying about. It spoke volumes to me that he chose to speak and to say, remember what happened here. Russia interfered with our elections to the benefit of Trump. The Trump campaign welcomed it and wallowed in it. And then when we investigated that, there is ample evidence that the president obstructed justice. Now, Congress, it is up to you. I thought it was powerful that this man of few public words chose to speak.
And so when he was saying what he was saying, very straightforward, in a sort of legalese kind of way, I think part of what he didn't say is what was so important. It's very interesting to hear your translation of that in the message that you were taking. So I just want to make that clear. But I also want to talk about how you had reserved judgment on impeachment, and now you've said enough is enough. Tell us how you got to that point.
Well, as you pointed out, I am a member of the Judiciary Committee, and I prize that duty and that role to do both substantive legislation but also the important duties of oversight. And so you saw the stonewalling and the obstructing of our oversight capacity by this administration, directly by this president and his attorney general and his personal counsel. So when lawful subpoenas to Attorney General Barr for documentation and for his presence and testimony were stonewalled and ignored, when lawful subpoenas for McGahn's documents and testimony before our committee were again stonewalled and obstructed, enough is enough. I don't think that we, as the front line in the work of oversight in the Judiciary Committee, can just sit idly by and allow lawful subpoena after subpoena to be ignored. We do have to uphold the rule of law. So what I have said to Chairman Nadler and to our leadership is I believe we should open an impeachment inquiry. That is just a more robust version, a more robust name and direct name to the oversight that we were already involved in.
Your chairman had previously said he would subpoena Mueller to testify. He has been reticent to, after hearing from Robert Mueller yesterday, he's been reticent to move forward or say that he's going to move forward. We just don't know exactly where he is on this. Do you want to see the committee subpoena Mueller to testify?
I would like to hear the testimony of Robert Mueller. If that comes by way of subpoena, I believe he will honor our subpoena and come forward. But I also take him at his word. He's not going to elaborate or speculate beyond the contents of the report. That's what he said to the American people yesterday. Read this report. It speaks for itself. In terms of the criminality and the evidence of criminality by Trump world. It speaks to the welcoming of Russia's interference in our election. You saw that at the end of his testimony yesterday, or his statement yesterday, he reminded the American people of the serious problem of Russia's interference in our elections. So I certainly hope he comes before the committee. I know they're still in conversations, the chairman and Mr. Mueller's team, as he now pivots to private life. The American people, and I had a town hall last night. I wanted to share with you the reaction there. It was a terrific town hall at our local Montgomery County Community College. In terrible weather, more than 100 people came. And very quickly among the questions was, A, what are you doing substantively about legislation around health care, prescription drug pricing, Social Security, infrastructure, those kinds of things. But very quickly came up the question, what are you doing about this president? And when I said to the audience, this is the most indecent president of my lifetime in the history of our country, the entire room applauded. They agreed. We have to address the indecency.
If Robert Mueller isn't going to share anything beyond what's in his report, why then do you think it's still important to hear from him in person testifying before Congress?
Well, I think Americans have busy lives. I don't think everybody's going to have the chance to sit down and read a 448-page dense report that has damning information in it that is important to the American public. So who better to hear from than, as he said, the report are his words. It is his testimony. I think it will help the American people understand exactly what happened here and the extraordinary lengths to which this president went. There's evidence of serious lengths of obstruction of justice by this president. I think the American people need to have the story painted for them in some ways so that they understand the bad acts that were going on, both on the campaign side and then in the obstruction side. The American people are busy, and they need to hear from this public servant who so faithfully upheld his duty to investigate very serious things.
Congresswoman, thank you so much. Congresswoman Madeleine Dean with us.
Thank you.